Hello student, today we will see some important concept of biology. First one is homeostasis, second osmoregulation and third one is thermoregulation. What is thermoregulation? Maintenance of body temperature constant, it is called as thermoregulation. Here we will see how organisms regulate their body temperature. Then second question, how organism regulate solute balance and gain or loss of water, means how organism maintain water and salt balance of the body. Homeostasis means staying the same or maintenance of internal steady state is called as homeostasis. For example, in case of human being, body temperature remain constant, means it is 37 degrees centigrade. Though environmental temperature may be higher or less than that of body temperature, but still body temperature remain constant, and such animal they are called as warm blooded animal. In the same manner, osmoregulation means maintenance of water and salt balance of the body. It is called as osmoregulation. These both are example of homeostasis. Means again I will say, homeostasis means staying the same or maintenance of internal steady state of organism called as homeostasis. Homeostasis, maintenance of steady internal condition despite fluctuation in the external environment. As I already explained you, though environmental temperature may be 45 degree or it may be minus 10 degree, still the body temperature remains the same. That is the thermoregulation. The maintenance of internal temperature within narrow limit. Second example, osmoregulation, the control of the gain and loss of water and solute. See, if I will drink 5 liters of water, at that time more water will be excreted, and if I do not drink water, at that time less water is excreted along with urine. Means water and salt balance of the body is maintained, and that is the osmoregulation. See here, homeostasis means stability is there. Means if there is imbalance, means increase in body temperature. For example, increase in body temperature, change will be detected. Who detect the change? Receptor. Then input via afferent pathway, means afferent nerve carry this impulse towards the control center. Control center means our brain, and brain send response via efferent pathway or efferent nerve, and that motor impulse carried up to effector. And effector, these are the organ which give response to change. And internal steady state is maintained. Imbalance may be increase than normal value or decrease than the normal value. These states, they are imbalance. Though imbalance occur, after some time steady state will be maintained. That is the homeostasis. Homeostasis and temperature control. We will see the same point by example. Normal body temperature 37 degrees centigrade. See, body temperature rises above the normal. At that time, nervous system signals dermal blood vessel to dilate and sweat gland to secrete sweat. Means in the dermal layer of the skin, blood vessel they dilate and sweat will be secreted. As sweating is there, body temperature will drop. Heat is lost to its surrounding. Body temperature drop towards the normal, and as the body temperature become normal, sweating will be stopped. Again after some time it will rise. Again sweat will be produced. Body temperature decreases, sweating will be stopped. This cycle continues. Still the temperature outside our body it is higher. And what will happen if the body temperature drop below the normal? This condition occur during the winter season. At that time, nervous system signal dermal blood vessel to constrict and sweat gland to remain inactive. Means during winter season, sweat will not be produced as these blood vessel they constrict and body heat is conserved and body temperature rises toward normal. If body temperature continue to drop, nervous system signal muscle to constrict involuntary. Muscle activity generate body heat and body temperature rises towards the normal. Means shivering is there. Muscle they contract involuntary, that is shivering. We are not able to stop shivering as this activity is involuntary, and due to shivering heat will be generated, body temperature will rise. Thus our body temperature is maintained by these two mechanisms during summer and during winter. Same is explained here. See here, body temperature fall, blood vessel constrict, so heat is conserved. Shivering, involuntary contraction of muscle generate heat which warms the body. Heat is retained, normal body temperature. Again body temperature fall and the cycle continues. In the same manner, when outside temperature is greater than body temperature, naturally body temperature rise, blood vessel dilate, then due to it heat loss to the environment, sweat gland secrete sweat and it evaporate and body cool down. Heat is lost to the environment, normal body temperature, and again due to surrounding body temperature rises and the cycle continues. Warm blooded animal and cold blooded animal. See, we are warm blooded animal. Means we maintain our body temperature constant. We are homeotherm. But poikilotherm, animal who are unable to maintain their body temperature constant. Their body temperature changes according to the temperature of surrounding, and such animal they are called as cold blooded animal. Means body temperature of frog changes according to the temperature of surrounding. Means if outside temperature is 20, frog's body temperature will be 20. If it will be 25, here in frog body temperature will be 25. But in human being body temperature remain constant, and hence we are called as warm blooded animal. The next concept is osmoregulation. Water and salt balance of the body is maintained constant, or electrolyte balance is maintained constant It is called as osmoregulation. Osmotic pressure of a solution. A measure of its tendency to take in water by osmosis. It is called as OP or osmotic pressure. Osmosis. The diffusion of water across semi-permeable membrane. Where water diffuse always occur from more dilute solution to less dilute solution, or higher concentration of solute to more osmotic pressure. See, osmosis. Water move from its higher concentration, means concentration of water, to lower, or from hypotonic solution to hypertonic solution. This is hypertonic, means its tone means concentration is greater. Here hypotonic means less, hypo means less, tone means concentration. This movement of water from its higher concentration to lower, it is called as osmosis. Or in another word, movement of water from hypotonic solution to hypertonic solution, it is called as osmosis. Osmoregulation. The control of the concentration of body fluid, it is osmoregulation. Diffusion. Movement of substance from an area of greater concentration to area of a lower concentration, it is called as diffusion. And osmosis, diffusion of water through a semi-permeable membrane, it is called as osmosis. What will happen if you place a cell, here cell means RBC, and if you place this cell in isotonic solution, means solution having equal concentration, concentration of the cell sap and surrounding solution is same, what will happen? The RBC or the cell remain normal. And what will happen if we place the RBC in hypotonic solution? Means concentration of that surrounding solution is less than that of this RBC. At that time, as you know, what happened during osmosis? Water moved from hypotonic to hypertonic solution. See here. Means from hypotonic solution, water moves toward hypertonic. Means here the cell sap concentration is greater. So cell become turgid. Means it gets swollen. Finally it may burst due to pressure, as water from surrounding continuously move in. See, water from surrounding, it continuously move in, and as a result the cell gets swollen and finally it may burst. And what will happen if the cell or this RBC placed in the hypertonic solution? Hyper means greater. Concentration of that solution is greater than that of concentration of cell sap of this RBC. At that time, water from the RBCs, it moves out from hypotonic to hypertonic, and this RBC it shrink or it get plasmolized. So it is important to keep the concentration of this cell sap and surroundings equal, that is isotonic, and this function it is performed by our kidney. And if kidney fails, at that time concentration of this urea or nitrogen waste will increase, body doesn't function properly. As the water and salt balance of the body, it get disturbed. Importance of osmoregulation. to avoid this bursting of cell or plasmolysis of cell, it is very important to maintain the water and salt balance of the body, and that important function, that is osmoregulation, performed by our kidneys. Thank you.